Hey guys, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we're actually going to be talking about Facebook because NBC News pretty much just dropped a bomb on some new documents for years that they have just uncovered. Basically, years of documents they have just uncovered, and this is probably the most I'm ever going to quote, but I've got a ton of notes here from NBC News, and so strap yourselves in. This is fascinating, and first things first, this reporting comes from NBC News. And I think it was an excellent job by Olivia Solon and Cyrus Farivar. I hope I said that right, Cyrus. So if you guys are ever watching this, good job. And I quote from them, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg oversaw plans to consolidate the social network's power and control its competitors by treating its users' data as a bargaining chip while publicly proclaiming to protect that data. According to about 4,000 pages of leaked company documents spanning 2011 and 2015 obtained by NBC News. Here we go. I quote again, the documents, which include emails, web chats, presentations, spreadsheets, and meeting summaries, show how Zuckerberg, along with his board and management team, found ways to tap Facebook's trove of user data, including information about friends, relationships, and photos, as leverage over companies that it partners with. In some cases, Facebook would reward favored companies by giving them access to the data of its users. In other cases, it would deny user data access to rival companies or apps. And some of the examples they gave were absolutely fascinating. Now, as an example of Facebook helping a friend, Facebook gave Amazon extended access to user data because it was spending money on Facebook advertising and partnering with the social network to launch the Amazon Fire smartphone. So very favorable for Facebook. Facebook gave them deep access. Now, as an example of cutting off, and I quote, in another case, Facebook discussed cutting off access to user data for a meeting app that had grown too popular and was viewed as a competitor according to the documents that were obtained. So that is interesting. Now, during this exact same period that this is going on, where Facebook is using and leveraging user data as a bargaining chip for profitability, and I quote, private communication between users is increasingly important, Zuckerberg said in a 2014 New York Times interview. Anything we can do that makes people feel more comfortable is really good. So during this exact same time period, 2014, which is in the middle of this document dump, Zuckerberg was publicly stating, we believe in privacy. We believe that it's increasingly important. We're going to make you guys feel comfortable with how private we're going to be. They have the best privacy. So with that, and I continue to quote because just, again, excellent reporting, but the documents show that behind the scenes, in contrast with Facebook's public statements, the company came up with several ways to require third-party applications to compensate Facebook for access to its user data, including direct payment, advertising spending, and data sharing arrangements. While it's not unusual for businesses that are working together to share information about their customers, Facebook has access to sensitive data that many other companies don't possess. Very true. We have put a ton of stuff on Facebook over the years, deeply personal information that they are clearly data mining and using to sell to other people for leverage. And again, I quote, and this will be my last quote, Facebook ultimately decided not to sell the data directly, but rather to dole it out to app developers who were considered personal friends of Zuckerberg or who spent money on Facebook and shared their own valuable data. So in other words, if you were a good friend of Mark Zuckerberg, basically you had very deep access to pretty much all the data that you wanted. Or if you were spending a dump truck load of money like Amazon, they would basically give you that information as well. Or if you were sharing deeply personal information that Facebook could then add to their, let's say, analytics engine and data mining on you, that would allow them to leverage even more money from some of these organizations. They were perfectly fine with that. And so I think this is probably not a surprise to many of us, but this is essentially what has been going on with Facebook for years and years and years. And starting in 2018 and now rolling into 2019, basically the chickens are coming home to roost at this point. I have seen multiple people on Facebook essentially drop off delete their pictures, remove accounts, all this kind of stuff, starting in 2018. And I think it's going to be accelerating. Now, the question is going to be, are they going to be able to weather this storm? Can they recapture everything that they've done? One of the most popular social media platforms, even as Facebook itself is going down, is Instagram, which Facebook owns. And a lot of people have said the reason why Facebook still has the market share that they have and the stock price that they have isn't because of Facebook, given all the hits it has. It's because Instagram is literally a separate brand. And so with Facebook having plans to consolidate things like Messenger and Instagram, and then the one that WhatsApp, they own WhatsApp. I was thinking Snapchat, but that's different. WhatsApp. They also own WhatsApp. They've been looking at consolidating that information or consolidating those platforms into one. But is that going to make the best sense for them, especially when their primary brand is just continuing to tank? And if anybody starts getting wind to say, oh, wait a second, Instagram is owned by Facebook, I wonder how they're data mining Instagram. Well, here you go. So take that for what it's worth, but that is the news of the day. And again, Olivia and Cyrus, excellent reporting on this. And as Facebook keeps being news, I'll keep reporting on it, but that is your news of the day. And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter at NickAESP. And as always, stay safe and stay online. Thanks, guys.